You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Our top story tonight, more than a week after 17 people were killed at a high school in Parkland, Florida, we're now hearing more about what happened on that tragic day from the people who saw the shooting unfold. And as ABC's Maggie Rulli reports, we're also learning more about the events leading up to that shooting.
Authorities are releasing new details about what happened in the months leading up to last week's school shooting, including a full transcript of the tip the FBI received a month before the shooting. In the call, a female warns that the alleged shooter was going to explode, saying he would threaten to kill people on social media. She claims she told the Parkland Police Department and was telling the FBI just in case he, quote, starts shooting places up. The FBI has admitted to failing to follow up on the tip and sharing it with the Bureau's FBI field office. Also released a 911 call from someone who appears to be the alleged shooter about 3 months before the shooting happened.
The thing is, I lost my mother a couple of weeks ago, so I'm dealing with a bunch of things right now.
The Broward County Sheriff's Office says they were called to the alleged shooter's former Parkland home 23 times. 2 of those calls were directly related to concerns that this person could potentially shoot up a school. Students across the country are standing behind Stoneman Douglas, and many met with top government officials this week, including Florida Governor Rick Scott.
My message to them has been very simple. You are not alone.
Today, Scott announced a new action plan that puts nearly $500 million towards a school safety program. The students and their families will be back on campus for an orientation this Sunday. To start, what the superintendent says is a week of transition for the students, getting them back together to try to find some level of normalcy. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Well, Governor Rick Scott wants law enforcement officers in every public school by next school year as part of a massive action plan he announced today. Scott's plan would send $450 million to schools and require school districts spend all capital outlay dollars first and foremost on school hardening measures such as metal detectors. It would also put a mental health counselor in every school.
There is nothing more important than the safety of our children. Our kids deserve nothing less. Fortunately, our economy is booming, and we have the resources to protect our schools and our students. And if providing this funding means we won't be able to cut taxes this year, so be it.
The funding would also establish an anonymous hotline for all students to report potential threats via phone, website, and mobile app. The Sarasota County School District also put out a statement today supporting these measures, including that hotline.
Right now, everything is coming into the district, and we're running around like crazy trying to make sure that none of these are credible threats.
There's no price to pay. How do you quantify the price of a child's life? There is zero.
The plan also includes big changes to mental health treatment and gun laws across the Sunshine State. Local law enforcement agencies say they are not commenting on the proposal until more information becomes available. However, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is commenting on Sheriff Tom Knight's remarks about the possibility of launching a school security program. The Sheriff's Office says, quote, it would take significant legislative change, adoption by the school district, and of course a more formal recruitment and training structure. Sheriff Knight does believe, however, that this program is a start of what will hopefully evolve into a greater conversation and solution. Meanwhile, a large group protesting outside Congressman Vern Buchanan's office this afternoon in downtown Sarasota. The Gun Reform Now group pushing for lawmakers to do something about gun violence. ABC7's Rick Adams has more from outside the congressman's office.
Well, dozens of protesters were out here hoping to have their voices heard. They are urging lawmakers, including Congressman Vern Buchanan, to do something about gun violence. The protest started on the steps of the building housing Congressman Vern Buchanan's office in downtown Sarasota. Nearly 100 protesters then marched down the street to Main Street, letting folks passing by know how they feel about gun violence and gun control. They want Vern Buchanan and others to change these gun control laws now.
These lawmakers, they need to really understand they work for us, and we're tired of this, and we want him to do something about this, and plus the fact that he has an A+ rating with an NRA.
These gun control protests have been bringing out more folks than ever before, especially following the recent school massacre in Broward County. Amanda Bristol helped organize this protest through the Gun Reform Now group. She's taking a proactive approach on this issue, mainly for her young daughter and other children throughout this country.
It's important that we make sure that we're able to keep our children safe and make sure that we're keeping guns out of schools.
In a press release that we had received from the Congressman's office, in part it says, Congressman Vern Buchanan said immediate steps should be taken to protect students following the deadly shooting in Parkland, Florida. He adds everything should be on the table when it comes to school safety and addressing deadly shootings. And we're being told more of these protests will be happening in the near future. A lot of folks tell us they will keep protesting until major change happens. Reporting from downtown Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you so much, Rick. If you'd like your voice to be heard on possible solutions to gun violence, listen up. Representative Margaret Good will be holding a town hall at the Selby Public Library tomorrow, Saturday the 23rd, to hear from her constituents about their views on the matter. That town hall will be held at 2:30 p.m. Selby Public Library is located on 1st Street in Sarasota. A follow-up now to a story we told you about last night. Today, middle and high school students in Manatee County had to carry their school books after being banned from bringing backpacks. The move came as a security precaution amid several threats made to area schools. Now the school district says they will be allowed to continue to have backpacks on Monday. The district also announcing today they will be adding 34 school resource officers. And a Bradenton man has been charged with failure to yield the right-of-way after the Florida Highway Patrol says he hit a Manatee County school bus. Troopers say he hit the bus at the intersection of US 41 and 69th Avenue West in Bradenton around 4:30 this afternoon. There were 8 children on board. Luckily, none of those involved sustained any injuries. And just a reminder, you can get updates on latest breaking news like things that impact area schools instantly on your phone by downloading our app. All you have to do is go to the App Store and search the words WWSB or My Suncoast. Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast. Bob?
Thanks, Jacqueline. We are looking at a high today, a tying record high, 86 degrees. 5 days in a row, we've either exceeded the record or tied the record since Monday. Tuesday being the warmest of the week at 90 degrees for a high temperature, shattering the mark for the entire month of February. So it's been a warm week, and it looks like the weekend is going to be warm right along with it. Maybe not record-breaking, but we're still going to see highs in the 80s. 70 right now, very comfortable out there. We have an east wind at 8 and the pressure 30-27. That's way up there, and that continues to hold steady for the most part, despite the fact that it's shifting a little bit further off to the east right now. Some rain along the east coast of Florida, trying to make its way across the state, but not having much success due to some dry air in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We are looking for some clouds around tomorrow, but we should see a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day. The heavy rain by far is to the north of us, and that front will get into the panhandle of Florida over the weekend. That front will not move through here, though. We're going to stay really quite warm. Temperature right now, 68 in Orlando, 70 in Sarasota. 10 degrees cooler, though, in Tallahassee at 60 degrees, 76 in the Keys. We'll have a look at the weekend weather forecast, a little bit more detail coming up in just a few minutes. Jacqueline?
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. The city of Northport has released its 2017 crime report. The numbers show a decrease in overall crime from the year before, but an increase in assault cases and traffic crashes. Authorities attribute that increase to a growing population. In total, there were 895 crimes committed in Northport last year. The report also shows a large number of cases were solved by using social media.
If you live here in Northport, if you're from around this area, and we put your photo out there, almost every single time we're able to identify the folks.
The department also has a new tip app allowing users to submit tips anonymously. Your options for lodging in Sarasota's Pinecraft area has grown. After a little over a year of construction, the Carlisle Inn on Bay Vista Street throwing an open house today. Thousands coming out to get a look at the new hotel, which is located behind the Der Dutchman restaurant. The goal is to bring a wider range of people to our area.
You know, we always want to be a positive contribution to the community, and I think what it will do is there's a lot of people who want to stay close to this area and haven't been able to, so hopefully they'll be able to get accommodations.
The inn also has a conference center which will allow for large group meetings. The hotel officially opens on Monday. Stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, a possible turn in the Russian probe investigation. Former Trump deputy campaign manager Rick Gates announcing his cooperation. And a scare at the White House. A look at the scene after a woman tried to plow her car through a barrier outside.
Raycom Sports and Blizzard Entertainment are debuting a new 5-part series. It's called Heroes of the Dorm, and students from the Atlantic Coast region are competing in Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm for over $500,000 in scholarships and prizes. The tournament features teams from colleges across the United States and Canada battling in Heroes of the Storm, featuring characters and lore from almost 30 years of Blizzard Entertainment. We also go behind the scenes with some of these gamers to see what they're doing when they're not playing video games.
We all love our kids and want what's best for them. You have the power to help your kids learn to succeed in life every day. When you promote a love for learning at home, children build the skills they need to be ready for school. You can be their everyday hero. It's easy. Just text Everyday Hero to 77453 for simple learning tips.
Loaded with big laughs, colorful characters, and the songs that made the 20s roar, Bullets Over Broadway is bringing musical theater back with a bang. Your attendance is requested at the Players Center for this wild Broadway musical opening February 21st. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit the website at theplayers.org. This is one Broadway show that is sure to knock 'em dead.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Well, Bob, some record-breaking temperatures this week. Can we expect the same as we head into the weekend?
It's going to be close. We're going to see temperatures in the low 80s. Probably not record-breaking because of maybe a little bit more southeasterly wind flow, but you know, we've been pretty hot here. Sam was in Colorado this morning at Beaver Creek, and he sent this one in of beautiful snow mountains there you see right there in Colorado. This is again near Beaver Creek, and Sam sent this, and he also sent a sunset in. So he was there this morning and took that picture, and then he sent another nice sunset in earlier. I showed that at the 7 o'clock newscast tonight. This one of Siesta Key looking good right there, Richard, with some birds flying on by as the sun was dipping below the horizon there. Another one right here, get a look at that. This is never gets old. They're really great shots. Captain Kurt aboard Catherine, it looks like. That's what he said anyway. The boat. We are seeing some clouds and showers and even some snow and freezing rain earlier. Pretty heavy up in the northeast. This is a large area of some heavy rainfall moving through now Missouri, heading towards St. Louis. Unfortunately, it's going to an area near Elkhart, Indiana, which has seen some very significant flooding over the past couple of days. That's more rain on the way there. And then another little piece of energy is getting set to move in over the weekend over portions of the lower Mississippi Valley. So flooding is going to be a big concern over the weekend. We could even see some rough weather in terms of severe storms well to our north as the frontal system starts to move to the southeast. But a warm weekend for us. Record breaking, it's going to be tight, but we'll see. A few showers are possible in the afternoon and evening. It shouldn't be much, though, and it won't stick around all that long if we see any rainfall at all. Most areas will stay dry. And then slightly cooler temperatures for Friday next week. But it looks like that will not be all that cold, just a little bit cooler than we've been experiencing. We'll have highs in the 70s as opposed to the upper 80s like we've seen this week. 70 right now, though. The winds are out of the east at 8 and the pressure 30-27. And that's way up there. High today was 86. That tied the old mark of 86 set back in 1962. And 33, the record cold temperature set back in 1978. Well, temperatures right now up and down the coast in the low 70s. Holmes Beach at 71. 72 in Longboat, the same at Rosedale and the Meadows and Waterleaf at 71 now. Braden Country Club at 72 degrees and Kensington Park, pretty much the same story up and down the coast, all in the low 70s at this point. And we are expecting lows to be generally in the mid 60s. So we'll start off the day tomorrow, mid 60s. We'll warm up into the low 80s. So it looks as though we'll see that sea breeze kick in a little sooner than we've seen. And when that happens, temperatures will be just a little bit cooler as opposed to the upper 80s. The futurecast will show that steady southeasterly wind flow throughout the morning and continuing throughout the afternoon on Saturday. Notice this frontal boundary. It'll start to develop as a piece of energy develops through Texas and Oklahoma and eventually sweeps into the panhandle of Florida on Sunday and Monday, but it won't make it all the way down here. This system will eventually rotate around that area of high pressure off the southeast coast. Temperatures 37 in Boston now. It's 40 in Buffalo. Pretty mild in Columbus, 56 degrees there. And 32 into, again, Green Bay, 5 degrees. That's where the real cold air is in Bismarck. And then 49 in Dallas. So it's pretty cold all the way down in the southern plain states. But with that high pressure ridge blocking any kind of chilly air getting in here, it's going to stay warm right through the rest of this month, it looks like now. With no real significant colder air moving in, more likely this will go down as the warmest February on record here at the Sarasota-Braden Airport. For boaters, looks great out there. A light chop on the bays and inland water, seas running 2 feet or less. The water temperature real warm, 76 degrees. Now the extended forecast calling for low 80s right through Thursday of next week. Rain chance at 20%. There's that slightly cooler temperature of 77 on Friday. But until then, we'll be, again, almost 8 degrees above average for the most part, and that 30% chance for a few showers comes on Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. Jacqueline?
Okay, we will certainly take it. Thank you so much, Bob. When former Trump deputy campaign manager Rick Gates was first charged last October, he pleaded not guilty. Now, a day after the special counsel returned more charges, Gates has decided to start cooperating with Robert Mueller. ABC's Tara Palmieri tells us what this could mean in the Russia probe investigation.
Today, President Trump's former campaign aide Rick Gates pled guilty to conspiracy and false statement charges, signaling that he's ready to cooperate with special counsel Robert Mueller. Before arriving at a federal courthouse in D.C. today, he wrote a letter to friends and family saying, quote, "I have had a change of heart."
He may be able to help Mueller put some of these pieces together with regard to the collusion that is the fundamental part of this case.
His guilty plea comes one day after he and his partner, former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort, were indicted on 32 counts, including tax evasion and bank fraud. These charges are in addition to those filed against both men in October. They pled not guilty to those earlier charges. Meanwhile, tonight, Manafort was indicted on new charges related to his work for pro-Russian Ukrainian politicians. Gates is the latest Trump insider to strike a plea deal in Mueller's investigation into Russia's meddling in the 2016 election. Gates wrote, quote, "The reality of how long this legal process will likely take, the cost, and the circus-like atmosphere of an anticipated trial are too much." Gates and Manafort were charged with funneling $75 million into offshore accounts and then not paying taxes on $30 million of those funds. These crimes were alleged to have taken place when the two men were working on the Trump campaign and lobbying for pro-Russian Ukrainian politicians. The two men lived lavishly. According to the indictment, they spent $500,000 shopping in Beverly Hills, $200,000 on 4 Range Rovers, and $800,000 in landscaping.
Rick Gates could face more than 5 years in prison, but cooperating with Mueller could spare him some jail time. The exact terms of the deal are unclear. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
A security scare at the White House today after officials say a woman rammed her car into a barrier outside. Take a look at this scene. This is video capturing some of the smoke from the spinning, burning tires. Witnesses hearing the commotion as secret security moved into action.
Police were starting to pile out of the back of the White House and from across the street, and then everybody's just screaming, "Go, go."
She just kept pressing on the gas and trying to push through, I guess. That's what it looked like. And then, they ordered her to stop.
The suspect, whose name has not yet been released, is in custody tonight. The White House was placed on a lockdown for a short period of time. Stay with us. Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Free, your third Oscar nomination, and you're a very young person. I mean, there are people who go their whole lives and don't even get one Oscar nomination. It's really a remarkable thing.
Thanks. Yeah,
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Thousands of award-winning Honda Civics are on sale for $169 a month during the Honda President's Day sales event. You made Civic the best-selling compact car in America. Drive one today for just $169 a month, or save thousands on your Civic with 0.9% financing. Civic, a KBB.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Only $169 a month or 0.9% this week at your local Honda dealer.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like it.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
Now, sports.
Spring training games are officially underway with the Orioles hosting the Rays at Ed Smith Stadium this afternoon. At the top of the third inning, Tampa Bay's Joey Wendell grounds out into a double play, but he is still able to drive in Johnny Monell to extend the lead. The Rays lead 2-0. Then at the top of the seventh inning, the Rays' Nick Schufo singles on a line drive to left fielder Trey Mancini, which will bring in Carl Chester and Joe McCarthy for 2 runs. The Rays go up 4-0, and they go on to win tonight 6-3. Meanwhile, in Port Charlotte, the Rays' other squad hosting the Pirates. Both teams, like all the others in baseball, remembering the victims of last week's deadly shooting in Parkland. The players wearing the school's hats. In the third inning, Tampa Bay's Kevin Kiermaier's RBI single to center field scores 2 runs. Goes up 2-1 for the Rays. Also in the third inning, Tampa Bay's Brad Miller's RBI double to left field scores 2 runs, 4-1 for the Rays. They go on to win this one as well, 6-3. And there are 2 games happening on the Suncoast tomorrow. The Pirates will host the New York Yankees at Lecom Park in Bradenton. First pitch is at 1:05, and then tomorrow night at Ed Smith Stadium, the Orioles take on the Twins. And here's a look at our Fans of the Day sent in to us by Sarah Ruiz. You too can be one of our Fan of the Day. Just take a selfie of yourself at one of the Orioles' home spring training games and email it to us at pics@mysuncoast.com. That's PIX@mysuncoast.com. And a law enforcement official says former Miami Dolphins player Jonathan Martin was taken into Los Angeles police custody after a threatening Instagram post. The official says Martin was being questioned and was not under arrest. The official says a post on Martin's Instagram account showed a shotgun and referenced the private Harvard Westlake Prep School in Los Angeles by name and the Miami Dolphins. The school was evacuated earlier today after officials were made aware of the post. The post also mentioned that suicide and revenge were the only options for a victim of bullying. Martin claimed he was bullied by 2 fellow offensive linemen when he played for the Dolphins. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers when we come back.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I knew that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
We all love our kids and want what's best for them. You have the power to help your kids learn to succeed in life every day. When you promote a love for learning at home, children build the skills they need to be ready for school. You can be their everyday hero. It's easy. Just text Everyday Hero to 77453 for simple learning tips.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Want to know a secret? If you're looking for the best selection of area rugs at an unbelievable price, the only place you need to look is Rugs is Art. I know what you're thinking. Expensive, right? Wrong. Rugs is Art has the largest selection of area rugs on the west coast of Florida in a variety of styles, with 8x11 area rugs starting at $199. Largest selection, personalized service, and unbelievably low prices. You'll find it all at Rugs is Art.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
ABC7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Grab your beads and boas. Rubonia's Mardi Gras Parade returns for another year this Saturday. The parade began in 1980 as a birthday celebration for a Rubonia resident, and now it draws thousands to the area for its street entertainers, food, and live music. The parade starts at noon on Bayshore Road, and the festivities continue until 6 p.m. at the Rubonia Community Center. Well, someone lost a bunch of money on Appomattox Drive in Northport today. Drivers spotting the money, stopping to grab them up, only to find it was all fake. Their dreams of $100 bills just slipping away. On the back of the bill, it clearly states it was for motion picture use only. Bob, I don't know about you, but I probably would have maybe just stopped and grabbed a few $100 bills. Well, what we thought were $100 bills.
I think I would have. In fact, I was there, Appomattox Road today.
Oh.
I didn't see any. I would have stopped if I'd have saw it.
Would you have shared with some of us?
Oh, I would have given it to everyone. Right. We are looking at some nice weather. We're going to share that with you over the weekend. It should be staying really nice.
All right. Thank you so much, Bob, and thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend.